What's going on, guys? I got no proof on this. I think I know why they keep putting so much effort into trying to recruit me into their shitty little club, and why they would put Tiffany up to stealing my money to try to get me to be dependent on them to be in their club. And this is exactly why I hate their stupid club, and why I think that the clubs are a whole thingy to make everyone stupider and dumber. All right? And I'm pretty sure I even told Tiffany this at Night for Freedom when I was drunk about how I knew Dan Wallace and we were friends and all that bullshit before he got murdered by Luke the Murderer and whatnot. So apparently, Blair White is in town at the uh, whatever his name is, Mitloop thingy. I think Tom Poole is a retard. If I'm being totally honest, I think he's a giant waste of space. I think everyone knows that his little brother is cooler than him. That's why he's a sellout. Okay, he's the biggest sellout in the planet because what else is he gonna do? All right. Anyways, so who gives a shit about Mitloop? So the whole thing I keep on saying has got something to do with Dan Wallace's murder. All right. So Dan Wallace's murderer only got to where he is now by using Dan Wallace's weird change website for like 10 years. And then once I started calling him out on it, they like forced him to start using his own name. Okay, call him Luke the Murderer then. No one gives a shit. All right. I don't think Zigby's a murderer, but I know that Zigby's a total charity case based on his race. Everyone I know who's ever been proud to be, like of their skin color, an American, would call Zigbee an Uncle. They do call him an Uncle Tom. The only people who like Zigbee are white people. So if the whole club is based on having new people come in and then having them serve you and all that bullshit, what do you do if you've already sold out and you've already murdered and you're already in their pocket and you refuse to do anything for yourself, refuse to read a book, refuse to study, refuse to show any initiative? All you're good for is being passed around, doing weird shit behind closed doors, and begging for shit online. So, the moment I join their shitty club, they're gonna be like, well, you know, and this is the other thing. Think about all the effort they put into this for years. For years, they've been trying to catch me doing something. I told Cernovich, I told Tiffany, I even told AJ Jesus Hair, whatever the fuck his name is, what I was doing. Now, did they put it together? I don't really care. I told Tiffany that I was working with a state delegate to get laws passed to protect children from predators. I told the AJ motherfucker that I had to go, one of my jobs I used to do, I had to go into court and testify and all that bullshit. And I flat out told Cernovich, if he read it in long form, what it was that I was doing. So that way none of the karma is mine for any of the shit that they got caught doing. All right? Now, at the same time, what happens if I'm not doing any of that? What happens if I'm literally, like, by the way, P.S., one of my buddies who works Vice was telling me that either Tiffany or Tiffany put someone up to whoever the fuck it is she knows that does the other shit that spies on people. Someone has a Korean prostitute app on this thingy, but they want like your picture, your name, your bio. Like that's obviously someone faking it. That's got Tiffany written all over it. Anyway, I wouldn't, I don't know definitively. I'm just saying that's the kind of shit that like when you see something like that, you're like, that is obviously a trap, right? Anyways, so for years, their whole plan was let's corrupt this fucker. That way we can say all the computer shit, we pair him with Zigbee, and now Zigbee's not a loser who dropped out and can't fend for himself and has to sell ebooks. He's associated with the guy who actually does real shit. We'll get the murderer to do shit with him, and maybe we'll murder him next, and then he'll just take over that next too. Okay, yeah, but if I don't do that, then you're stuck pissing in the wind, dealing with the own shit you made, which is bullshit. The whole thing with these clubs, the whole keystone that you can pull out to make everything crumble. The whole straw that broke the camel's back. With these clubs is if there's no new members, the pyramid falls. Pyramid structures have to have one on top and a bajillion at the bottom. The inverted pyramid is what I go for. I'm gold. I'm silver. All your bullshit is eventually going to have to filter through me, and I'm going to cut it out. I am the inverted pyramid. That's what they taught me when I said I didn't want to be a Rosenchristen, and they said, "Good, you passed the test." Because apparently, when you get through all this bullshit, like on your deathbed, you're supposed to like realize that you don't need any of this, and that it's literally just like that movie, The Sword of Orin, Stargazer, Legend of Orin. That's literally like the Mason Boulay, whatever the fuck societies, the good ones of those made movies like that. The bad ones of those do weird shit behind closed doors and promote murderers. Okay? So I don't necessarily want to take the time to sift through all the wheats and the tares and meet them all one by one and you're good and you're bad. No, I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. I'm going to not be involved with any of your bullshit. And anyone who wants to be normal and not deal with anyone and not deal with that crazy bullshit can just hang out and smoke and play video games. That's how it's always been. I haven't changed. Everyone else just started selling out more. I don't want to be associated with murderers. Okay? And as long as we're on the whole Blair White thing, that thingy Blair White did, there really were only two transes on that, Blair White and that other one that she was arguing with. Everyone else doesn't pass at all. And the other one is like, we'll just say you were passing, but you weren't really passing. And again, even Blair White, in my opinion, is not a trans. Blair White wasn't born that way. Blair White, whatever. But that's all a show. It's all a show to keep you watching it so they can steal your energy. That's what it comes down to. It's all bullshit. So no. If Tiffany thinks that I'm going to, you know, oh, I want Tiffany so bad that I'll work with a murderer. No, I don't. No, I don't. I've always told Tiffany from the very beginning I'd be willing to do almost anything within reason. She chose to ignore almost and within reason, stole money, hoarded around with losers, and is now like, oh, I donated a purse that I got for doing a fashion show to a charity, so I'm a good person. No, no, you're not. You're geriatric menopausal whore. So I do not want to be involved with murderers. Did Luke the murderer murder Dan Wallace? Yes. Okay. So does everyone who works with those losers, are they willingly allowing a murderer to go unpunished? Yes. Okay. So I don't want to hang out with them. Okay. Whatever the fuck is wrong with Zigbee, I don't want to know. I just know that that motherfucker copies the fuck out of it. That motherfucker, I didn't know who Zigbee was until someone else asked me if I was a fan of Zigbee, and I said why, and I found out he was literally verbatim copying and pasting my tweets. Because you dropped out of the workforce and can't get a fucking job and need to beg for money on ebooks. These people are losers. No, I don't want to be associated with them. No, I don't give a fuck how many likes and followers you have. Half of that shit, 90% of that shit is fake anyways. Why don't you be more like me in the sense that I can pay my own bills, I can wipe my own ass, I can let a stupid whore think she's going to get away with some bullshit and keep on going because I'm not a beggar. I'm not a thief. I'm not a loser. I'm not a sellout. That's why I'm not going to be in your sellout club. Have a nice day.